Andy Tudor is back with us from Nexus Minerals, and we're going to be talking about all the latest on the Wallbrook Gold Project in WA. Now, Andy, I know the latest news off the presses is 1 metre RC assay results from the Clement and Godfrey prospects. Of course, the headline finding there, 15 metres at 5.21 grams gold. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I'd love to, Danielle. You can imagine that's something I'll talk about all day long. I think it's one of our best intersections we've had out there. I mean, it's been a long campaign of both aircore and RC drilling this last sort of 18 months. The rigs have continued to turn and had exploration success across the board. So, to come to the sort of the last of the I suppose the exploration RC results for the year and have these sorts of results and certainly Clement has exceeded our expectation. Sure, you're always happy the rocks come out of the ground. They look great. You're thinking, but until the numbers come in, you really don't know. And I think, we've now sort of really cemented this 600 by 350 metre area now and grades like this in, multiple shoots, multiple high grade, thick high grade as well. And, we've you can see with some of the cross sections where we've got our intersections in this release. If you look at one we sort of put out a few weeks ago, nearly 200 metres to the north, there's a very similar widths and not as quite as high grade as this one, but that ore body or that mineralisation continues through at that sort of length. So you've got a really good, thick, mineralised intersection over a good amount of strike as well. And, to have these sorts of grades, it's not only the 15 at 5, which I'll talk about all day, but, you're within 34 metres at 2.73 is just stonking. And you're at 116 metres as well. So, we've had a small supergene component in the oxide and the fresh material, but the fact that then it goes down and continues pushing down into this fresh rock, that what gives you the real scale potential. It isn't just a sort of supergene part of the mineralisation. It continues to depth. And we're seeing it now paralleling what we've seen in Crusader-Templar. And that moves us then to the east, to Godfrey, which almost butts up against Clement, longer strike. A little bit sort of more linear in its nature, and the grade isn't quite as high. But still, today's grade of around 1.5 gram we're seeing at Godfrey, that's 50% higher than what the average mined grade was last quarter in WA. So, these are really good grades. And as the gold price goes up, of course, these grams per tonne that used to your old 1 gram, is now sort of well and truly in the twos because the gold price has doubled, since we started talking gram meaningfully as being a mine number. So, the gold price is helping everything, but these sorts of grades are really, really making the whole project area look great. So, that's the last of our RC efforts for the year, and both Clement and Godfrey now are in this what we're calling a MRE drill ready. So they've gotten to the position where the geologists are happy to go, look, now we've just got to sort of blanket drill it and bring out a mineral resource estimates on them. So as the boys were charted with this earlier in the year, they've certainly come up with the goods, and it's a great way to finish the year on the RC program.
So RC results are concluded with a lovely golden bow on them. But I understand that the aircore rig only just stopped turning a couple of days ago?
Yep. So that's been back-to-back. The rigs have been turning, I said, all year. So that aircore finished just over 10,000 metres, testing branches, which is a prospect that we've known about for a couple of years now, and we've been drilling it over time and getting it such that it's MRE drill ready. But the geos still weren't quite happy that they'd sort of tested the full extents of that branches prospect. So they wanted one more go at the aircore just to really wrap it up and have it MRE drill ready. And so that's what they've done. And we tested prospect MC 3.3, which is another parallel one to Godfrey. So we're really starting to get these parallel prospects in a row. So results for that will come over the next month and a half, right through the Christmas period. And then we'll obviously address all of these results, pull it all together and start pulling it the MRE drill program for 2026.
And in the meantime, we've got plenty more to sink our teeth into. The Crusader-Templar mine development plan, officially approved. Please walk us through it.
Yeah, no, look, it's no rest for the team. I'll tell you, it's we're a small team, but boy, we seem to be having some pretty effective efforts this year, and we put all of these applications in the earlier part of this year, and we'd always said, and our consultants and people we're working with a lot of the permits, of which there's a considerable number of them required, which is on one of the tables in the release today. So all interested parties can go and have a look and see where we're exactly at with that. But we'd always said, we expected sort of towards the end of September quarter, certainly by the end of the December quarter, that we would have all of our operational permits, and it's certainly getting very, very close to, we see no reason why that won't still be the case. So, but certainly the mine development and closure plan is the big one. I mean, that's obviously the one that really says, you can go and mine this tomorrow, off you go. We'll get works clearing permits. Those are the last little bits. Then we'll get ready to grade control drill. Still looking for talking fairly advanced discussions with both toll treatment partners and a JV partner to go through this and work together with a perhaps a more mine-centric partner and get this thing out of the ground if all goes well in 2026. So it's busy time for Nexus Minerals as usual.
Well, Andy, it's always a pleasure to chat. So I'm glad you'll be back with more results very soon for us.
Thanks again.